Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and of course, the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, we have a few episodes coming up. You know, we needed more than one episode because we went to the beautiful state of Alaska, the last frontier. And you just can't fit everything into one episode.
No way.
So we had to dedicate a few of these episodes to our journey around because, you know, we didn't just do what a lot of people do. And there's no fault in that, like doing a cruise around Alaska. Mm-hmm. We actually rented a car. We invested time, energy going inland, you know, to not just see the main stuff, but to actually get into the little towns and things like that. A lot of fun, you know.
It was a lot of fun. We spent 8 days driving around the state of Alaska, and there's still so much we did not see.
Yeah.
But those 8 days were incredible, and I'm not saying that lightly. And so we have to take more than one episode to talk about it because there was so much that we saw and so much we did. And I'm really, really excited about it. I think this really was one of our best trips yet.
And it's very true because Alaska has a way of making you feel small in like the universal way, right? Because we just kept thinking about scale once we got there, just the size of everything. You know, we arrived, of course, expecting the mountains, glaciers, incredible scenery, and we were well rewarded for all of that. But what we actually found was a place that constantly challenged that sense of scale and, you know, your place in it, and kind of challenged all the preconceived notions of what you might have had about the state before we ever got there. So, you know, we'll get to a lot of the stuff over these next few episodes, but we want to just kind of break it down bit by bit. And of course, you know, we're not really in the business of giving people itineraries. We'll share with you ours, but it's more to hopefully inspire.
Yeah.
To get, you know, hopefully it gives you a little creative energy.
Yeah.
When you're looking at your next trip. So hopefully, you know, you can take some of those things that we've done maybe and put your own little spin to it.
For sure.
And absolutely let us know what you do, what you get into.
I think you could go to all the same towns and cities we went to and have completely different experiences because there's so much to do. Yeah. Everywhere. And the first thing I noticed was as soon as you land, they have kind of tourism books and guides all over the place. They were in the airport, but they're in restaurants. They were in hotels. They're everywhere because they want you to experience their state. And I loved it. We came back. I think I have a dozen of them sitting on the table still.
You know what it actually reminded me of going through the airport? Going through Harry Reid Airport here in Vegas.
Okay.
Because it's built in. They want you to do the excursions. So where Vegas is more like casinos and Cirque du Soleil and things like that, entertainment, this is more outdoors. So they're like, hey, do you want to go see the bears?
Right.
Do you want to go fly in a helicopter and see some glaciers? You know, what do you want to do? And they've got excursions everywhere catered to these things.
You're right. I mean, the first thing I noticed when we came off of the plane into the airport is this is an airport that knows why you're here. Because as soon as we were in the terminal, one whole wall was windows showing you the magnificent view outside. And everybody coming off the plane was just stopping and looking at the mountains. And you don't see that in a lot of airports where people come off a plane and then just stop and take in the view.
People were taking pictures.
Yes.
I was taking video. And now it's kind of one of those things, like you land in a place like, I don't know, Cincinnati. Not to pick on Cincinnati, but they don't have the giant windows at the airport there because ain't nobody taking a picture of that skyline.
No.
The skyline chilly maybe, but not the actual
Cincinnati
skyline.
knows a lot of people are there for the whiskey, so they do have a lot of whiskey kiosks that you can pick up some drinks. But Anchorage, they know people are here for the view, to experience this state, and they just drop you right into it.
So speaking of, like, we first got off the plane, and of course the talk all leading up to it was like, we want to see these animals. Right? You have kind of a list. You got bear and moose and all kinds of things. So we were kind of plotting out, like, we had a good idea based on our itinerary where we think we're going to get the best chance to see these animals out in the wild. And really, all it took was about 30 seconds driving outside of the airport before we
Yeah.
saw our first wild animal.
I think we had just exited the airport's rental car road onto the main street, and there was a moose right there at the entrance to the airport. And we circled around because we were like, wow, this might be the only moose that we see. We circled around, we pulled over on the side of the road, we took pictures.
Oh, we didn't pull over on the side of the road. We stopped in the middle of the road. Don't make it sound
thankfully, there wasn't much traffic.
We didn't do things the safe way. Yes,
Don't tell people that.
You should absolutely pull over to the side of the road and take pictures of the moose. What's plural for moose? Mises?
I think it's just moose.
Mooses?
Moose and moose.
Okay. All right.
But we took pictures, we took video.
Yeah.
We were like, this is awesome. We're immediately seeing one of these animals I've never seen in real life before.
Oh.
And the fantastic part of it, I guess, is that was the first of many, but we had no idea what we were in for.
So many, right? So, you land in Anchorage, and most people, I don't think, again, I think the preconceived notions, like what is Anchorage, and either it's a stop through for people outdoors, people that are either catching a plane to go somewhere else, some of the incredible national parks that we'll get into over this series, or they're just kind of going off to somewhere else. But Anchorage itself is kind of fascinating in the fact that about roughly 300,000 people live in this area. And that's roughly 40% of the state's population in one place.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out that the state of Alaska has less than 1 million residents.
Yeah.
I really didn't know. I assumed it was more than that. But once you're there and you realize some of the things we're going to get into, but how kind of remote some areas are, and it starts making sense.
Well, and then you look at like the tourist population, like when it comes in like peak seasons, at any given moment in the very peak seasons, it might be 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Like population, like people who actually live there and actual tourists, which is crazy to think about.
We met several people who take summer jobs there. So they fly in and live for the summer in Alaska to work the cruises.
Fascinating.
Or do guide trips, things like that. So I think their summer population is considerably higher, but actual residents is less than 1 million people for the whole state.
And let me say, we actually spent a good amount of time in Anchorage over several days. We stayed at a local bed and breakfast there, and we ate at a number of places, and spent a good amount of time downtown. I was pleasantly surprised by their downtown. Yeah. Number one, the walkability of it. And yes, I think we went in May, so the weather was really nice.
It was.
Even though leading up to it, the weather was all over the place. Like some days it was like, it's going to rain, and it's going to rain all day. And then the next day it'd be like, it's going to be sunshine all day. You have no idea. So dress in layers, right? Always. But like walking the downtown was just super easy to do. Lots of parking everywhere. And like different things to do. Like, I mean, obviously it's a downtown, so there's businesses and everything that make the city run, but tons of great restaurants to choose from. Yeah. This is a state that absolutely loves their like Thai food.
Yes.
In both Anchorage and Fairbanks, tons of Thai food places.
Yeah.
Lots of little diners. They have all kinds of nice little like local, if you're into local craft brews, things like that. I mean, I think the hardest part was us trying to figure out where we wanted to go and sit and eat.
I know. We kept just seeing like, oh, we should try that, but we only had so much time. So I think we did a good job hitting the places we wanted to in the short time, but next time when we go back, and I say next time with absolute certainty that we will go back, I think we're going to try all new places.
We travel a lot. Obviously, you got to travel a lot to do a show like this. So we have been a lot of places around the world, and it's always one of those things like, oh, I want to go back. Can't wait to go back. Alaska is the first place you and I have hit in a very long time that immediately we were like, we want to come back here.
Yes.
And we want to come back here soon. And like,
agree.
You're instantly looking again for like flights. And being on the West Coast, I think it helps a little bit that, it's not that far of a flight, and it's not overly expensive during certain parts of the year. So it makes it that much more approachable.
Right.
But so like getting back to the wild animals, right? So we went to the bed and breakfast. We stayed at this little bed and breakfast. And it was just a moment we were like, okay, let's go drop off the bags. Let's get out and see the town, because I think it was early afternoon. And I had circled a place that it's on, I think, the Anchorage City website. It's like, if you want to see moose. I was thinking again, what's the plural? What's the plural?
I know.
You saw that confusion in my eyes. Yeah. If you want to see moose, you go to this point. It's called Point Woronovs. There you go. A lot of Russian influence in Alaska. Yes. There's a whole backstory there. Read a book, right? But you go to this point, and there's supposed to be animals, and usually it's like someone saw something here 3-4 years ago, and now we have this whole thing about it. No, check out this road called Point Woronovs, Woronovs. There you go. And we drove down it a couple of times, like one way, and came back, and they have all these little points you can go out and see the water, the inlets, and everything. And there were moose everywhere.
There were. And I want to point out, it's right next to the airport.
Right next to the airport.
So you could do this as soon as you come out of the airport. If you're not lucky enough to see a moose on the airport road, you just take the road that circles around the backside, and that's where this point is. And there are moose everywhere.
Yeah.
But the other thing I noticed, there were a lot of photographers out there more doing like aviation photography, because you're at the end of the runway and you're watching the planes come in over the water. Yeah. And there was, I don't know, probably like 10 different photographers out there taking pictures of the planes coming in.
Well, they also have, they had it blocked off a little bit, or they have different times where they close it, but it's like the jet engine blast area.
Yeah.
Like if you love to get hit in the face by sand at very high speeds, like be one of those people, they have an area where you can go and stand there. And when the jets turn a certain way, you going to catch.
You're in that blast area. Yeah.
You're going to catch it full on, man. Right?
Yeah. No, I think we had a great first afternoon in Alaska. We saw multiple moose immediately. Yeah. And then we went and got one of those great craft beers you were talking about, and found this great little place downtown to get you some seafood.
Oh, I love my seafood so much. And because of the time, the midnight sun thing, yeah, we were up for a while that first day. I was talking to walls, man. I was so delirious. Kind of crazy. Keep it right here. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, Ain.
Hello.
You got a big smile on your face.
Because I'm so happy. I loved this trip.
Yeah. We had an amazing time in Alaska. Had so many adventures, we decided we're going to spread it out over a few episodes. Hopefully you'll go back and earmark your favorites and gives you some inspiration. You can check out all of our past episodes and interviews and everything on unscaledtravelshow.com. And of course, we put everything on major podcasting platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we got a bunch of new subscribers. So thank you guys so much for liking the show. Need some reviews, though. Need some of you guys to step up. Leave 5-star reviews. Look,
5-star only.
5-star only. If you're looking to leave a 1-star, the show is under Rick Steves Europe. Might be a little confusing, but just leave that 1-star there for Rick Steves, and he'll relay all that information. Anyway, so we're in Anchorage at this point, and we're having a ball. And, you know, we mentioned a bunch of food places and everything, and places that we stopped and spent some time and kind of didn't just rush through, but we designed our trip this way.
Yeah.
In big places, or in, I guess, these trips that you plan out long, like when people go to Paris, right? They have this Paris syndrome, but they also try to see everything in Paris in a very short amount of time, right? I didn't want to do that with Alaska. I wanted us to spend time in different areas around the state to really understand it and try to, I don't know, just kind of be present in it. So we spent a few days in Anchorage, in and around the area. So we got to know, like, downtown, like we were saying, pretty well.
Right. as we were saying, it was pleasantly surprising how nice the downtown was and how walkable, and they had so much to offer, I guess. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. So it was nice. But the first thing we were like, let's go get a drink somewhere. Because maybe we have a problem.
As most places are for us. Like, oh, this is nice. See those mountains? Let's go grab a drink. So the first place we went to was 49th State Brewing, which wonderful little pub and brew house right by one of the inlets, I think one of the little rivers that feed into the inlet, the bigger one. So it's a nice place, has a rooftop bar that you can get into, which it's kind of interesting because like the bottom floor you can just kind of go into and sit wherever is open.
Yeah.
It's one of these really popular places. But if you want access to the upstairs and to like the top levels, you have to have a reservation.
Yeah.
And I wasn't waiting an hour and a half. Literally, it was an hour and a half for us to get seated. And that's cool, man. I'm glad when places are popular, but I wasn't in the mood for that. So I was just like, let's go find some empty chairs. I think you elbowed an old lady out of the way and we sat down. And I mean, it was really good.
It was. Well, because
I'm kind of picky.
It's not just a bar. It's actually a brewery. So they make their own.
Yeah.
They make their own craft beer there in the same building where we were sitting. We had a view into one of the rooms where they were storing beer.
Rooms? Oh no, the brewery.
Yeah, part of the brewery, and we tried one of their new seasonal ales, which we both really enjoyed and looked for everywhere we went.
Yeah,
but it was really nice, and you can tell this is the kind of place that when the weather's nice, everybody flocks here because they had a whole area outside. Nobody was out there, but it was picnic tables and umbrellas. And I think this is probably a very favorite hangout of locals.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, we went in May, so there were people graduating, both high school and college. So there were a number of graduation parties, which probably feeds into why it was like an hour and a half wait because there were big parties waiting to go off and everything. But it looked like even on normal days, on a normal Wednesday or whatever, this is probably one of the more popular hangouts for the city. And so, but again, lots of parking, very walkable, so easy to get in and out. And, never felt that frustration of even going down to the Strip here in Vegas is just, sometimes, even if you're local or whatever. So we decided get a couple of drinks there, and it was that good. Like I judge it on how many drinks not only we get, but how many we wish we stayed and got. And like they had a raspberry wheat like craft ale, and I was like, I'm in love. I love this beer.
Yeah, yeah.
And their regular ones are fine too. Like the I think they have a Golden Eagle ale, very delicious. I got that in multiple places around the state. But we decided to walk a couple of blocks to the F Street station, which is a bar and it's kind
bar
of
and restaurant.
Yeah, bar and restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like fish and chips and things of that nature. And we sat, and you could absolutely tell it's more of a locals thing.
Yeah.
Where 49th State might be okay, maybe
tourist and local.
It shows up on tourist thing, but like F Street is definitely people just getting off work and
right. There were a lot of people there in their, I would say, work attire, and then even the next day when we were on one of our excursions, our driver was saying that he lives in that area and he goes and eats lunch at F Street a couple of times a week. That he loves it so much. But you had heard or read that they had really good fish and chips and other seafood. And so we had to go try it for you.
Yeah. And this is where I laid down a challenge to you.
You did.
Years ago, we got this thing, right? We grew up on the Gulf Coast in Texas, right? But neither one of us really grew up eating that much seafood because of the households we lived in or whatever. You absolutely to this day don't really like a whole lot of seafood.
I don't care for. I've tried it all over the world. I've tried it made in multiple ways. I just don't like it. And people always say, "Oh, well, you have to try it this way, or you have to eat my grandma's whatever." And I'm sorry, Grandma, I don't like it. It still tastes fishy.
Your grandma makes trash. Your grandma is trash. Maybe don't want to hear it.
It smells like a can of tuna.
Like to be fair, you've tried you've tried seafood in Tokyo, you've had it in Portugal, in all kinds of places that are famed for their seafood, and you just don't like it. So, but I keep trying. So I thought this time, like, I'm gonna get you to try an oyster, a real Alaskan oyster. I mean, how much fresher can you get? Like, the water's like right there. It's like 100
like
feet
you
away.
can see the water from the restaurant.
You can see the guys pulling the nets in, and they're yelling at you too. They're like, Amy, try our oysters. She just gave him the finger, kept moving. Weird thing. So I ordered a dozen oysters because I was out of my mind again, right? I'm so tired.
On top of ordering a whole platter of food and appetizers. And we had crab cakes. I will eat crab cakes.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Yes, I will eat crab cakes, but anything else is kind of a...
So, yeah, I had my own platter of food, and then I had to... And actually, it was a baker's dozen oysters, so I got 13 oysters I had to eat on top of it. It was a good time. I had a good time. I was very full.
You were very full.
Like, I was just, that kind of like waddle you do after you eat.
You kept nudging those last few oysters towards me, and there is a part of me that wants to try it, but I just can't do it. I picked it up, I smelled it, I had to put it back down. So, sorry, F Street Station. My burger that I got was really good, though. Yeah.
I ate a piece of that as well. I really overdid it. A different time, though, like I mentioned, they are crazy about their Thai food. In Fairbanks and in Anchorage, crazy about their Thai food. And we just kind of stumbled upon, we look at Google Maps and Yelp reviews, just like anyone else. We stumbled on a place called Royal Thai.
Yeah.
And we went in. It's like one of these little shotgun.
I think they had 6 tables in there.
Yeah, 6 tables. I think 2 of them were full when we walked in. But as soon as we walked in, all the other tables were full. And you can tell it's a mom and pop run restaurant. And the lady was so nice. And she kept apologizing. She was like, "There's no one's been here all day." And all of a sudden, like, everyone's here.
But even saying that, our food was out very quickly.
Very quickly.
She apologized for how long it took. And I was like, we just placed our order. It did not take that
Her
long.
husband, you could hear the grill going and the fryer and everything else was back there. But he must have been just slanging.
It was so
Thai
good,
food,
though.
boy.
It was so good. I love Thai food, and this was some of the best Thai food.
Yeah.
I was very happy. We did get medium heat because that's what we like.
Yeah,
and it was, I would say, slightly more than medium, which was fine until you eat a little bit more of it. And then you're like, okay, that slightly more than medium seems to be getting a little hotter
sweating.
and a little hotter.
I was sweating. You kept looking at me. She kept coming by with water. And I was like, yeah, man.
You had a napkin. You were mopping your forehead.
Oh, it was good. I ate every bite. I
ate
every single bite, man. But I kind of mentioned that daylight issue because we also thought it was like 6 in the evening.
Yeah. And it was like 9.
It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And, it's just kind of one of those times of the year where businesses just will stay open because people are out and about.
Yeah.
I guess 10 o'clock at night, the sun is fully up.
Yeah.
And people are just wandering around doing their day, man. Like they're washing their cars. They're just doing whatever.
Very true.
And if you're not used to that, which we weren't, we were coming, from Vegas and all of that. Like that first day, it kind of scrambled my brain a little bit.
It really does. And then for somebody not used to trying to go to sleep in daylight, your body doesn't know what to do because you're trying to go to bed. The sun is still up fully up at 10:30. Even though where we were staying had blackout curtains on the windows, it still doesn't fully black out the sun.
Yeah.
So it's very much an adjustment to make yourself start going to sleep. And I imagine if you're there and on the opposite side of the time of the year when it's dark all day long, it's probably difficult to make yourself wake up. Yeah.
But that's one of those things, like you have to go in knowing, like I have to make myself go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because you will stay up all night. And luckily, I'm just thinking about this now. Everywhere we stopped and stayed, they kind of were fully prepared for people. Like they had the little sleeping mask, had the blackout curtains. They had, it wasn't anywhere that we stayed. I was like, oh man, except for maybe one place.
One place.
We'll talk about that one eventually.
Or
maybe I won't talk about that
on
one.
a future show, maybe.
One place, but for the rest of it is like, okay, I'm looking at things. I'm trying to get sleep. I'm eating delicious food.
Yeah.
And when the daylight is there, you're like, more. Like, let's go do more and more and more.
Let's keep going.
You finally looked at me and you were like, we gotta go back and we have to rest.
Yeah. It was like almost 11. We're like, we have to go. We had an early morning the next day.
We got to go see some glaciers.
Yeah.
We got to go pick up some mooses. We got to go do some stuff tomorrow. So we reluctantly ended those days like that. So we got more coming up, including a trip to see the Portage Glacier and another walkable glacier that you can check out for yourself. Keep it right here. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're in Sin City, Las Vegas, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Thank you so much to our friends over at Diamondback Land Surveying for always sponsoring and supporting the show. Trent and Lisa Keenan, you know, they are pillars here in our Las Vegas community. They are avid travelers themselves. Around the world all the time.
Yeah.
I think they got a trip to Ireland coming up.
Right. And they actually gave us a couple of great tips on things to do in Alaska, and we're going to talk about one of them coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, back in a few, I guess the earlier part of this season, we're in our fourth season now of this show. Early part of the season, we've made it all about road trips. You know, some way or fashion tying almost every single episode back into a road trip. Alaska is no different. We're talking about being on the road there. But if you go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything, or even just our website, unscaledtravelshow.com, cheap plug, you can find episode 150 is all about the road trips that built the United States. And you know, of course, we talk about Route 66 and we talk about a bunch of different things. Check it out, please. But we also talked about the Seward Highway.
Yeah.
In Alaska. And that's kind of what got the ball rolling for this trip to Alaska.
It really was, because we were not only talking about the roads that built America, we were talking about some of the most scenic drives in the country. And this section of road that we're about to talk about, the Seward Highway, but particularly the first part, as soon as you are coming out of Anchorage, is frequently classified as one of the most scenic highways in the world. And we did that show, and it was one of the few drives in that episode we had not done. And afterwards, you and I, we were talking about it, and we're like, man, I'd love to see that. Like, I want to go to Alaska and see this. And it was maybe 2 days later, you were like, hey, do you really want to go to Alaska? And within a week, we had a trip planned. And I can honestly tell you, Alaska is one of those places I've always wanted to go, and I never thought I would make it to. And so this was a really special trip for me.
Oh,
thank you.
You getting all emotional and everything.
Emotional.
Look at me, Jeremy Long, causing emotions in other people that they themselves do not understand. But no, you're right. And this is the first, when you're leaving Anchorage, this is the first maybe hour and a half of the Seward Highway. And it is probably my favorite part of it. Yeah. Now, there's still another 2+ hours of Seward Highway going all the way down to the town of Seward. But this is the part like right outside of Anchorage. And this highway runs right along this body of water called the Turnagain Arm. It's basically an inlet of water that runs, and it was created by glaciers, because everything in Alaska was created by glaciers. Why is it called the Turnagain? Well, you can look at the journey of Captain James Cook, and it gets its name from one of his famous journeys, because they were trying to find a passageway and they couldn't. And so they kept having to turn the boat. And so the sailors started calling it, we got to turn again. We got to turn again. And the name actually stuck.
Look at
So
that.
look at that, James Cook. There you go.
You got a little history in there, and I learned
had to.
something.
I had to. I got it in there quick, and Amy's eyes didn't glaze over. So.
I love learning new history from you, and I appreciate when you keep it short.
But this is okay. But this is one thank you. One of America's greatest drives. It is one of the biggest mistakes that I think people, first-time visitors to the area, can make is rushing through this drive south from Anchorage because you're amped up and you're trying to I want to take in all the beauty. So you're just rushing through.
You're just driving.
Yeah. You're weaving in and out of traffic. If Amy's driving, God help
Stop
us.
it.
No. But don't do that. Like, you have to take a conscious approach to go, like, the purpose is the drive. You're seeing the beautiful scenery,
right,
and stopping along the way at different observation points.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that this part of the Seward Highway is built for people to stop and take in the view. There are overlooks and turnouts all over. Like, I want to say, like, every half a mile there's a place to pull over, and they have different points with names. So you see along the whole road people are pulled over, out taking pictures, just looking at the water, because this is also a great place to do whale watching. So much wildlife along the road. Coming back when we were making the drive back in was when we saw another moose mama and her baby on the side of the road right there. It was probably one of my favorite moments of the whole trip. But again,
ladies and gentlemen, you can hear the tears in her voice.
It was
her voice is just shrink wrapped in tears right now because it was such a good moment.
This entire road, it's not just the mountain scenery; it's the waters. It's the, like I said, whale watching, other wildlife watching. We saw the first bald eagle we saw was on this stretch of road. So I mean, you need to slow down and take it in. Yeah.
Because if you're heading south on your right, you have the Cook Inlet and the Turnagain Arm right there with the water. And like you said, different times of the year, you can catch beluga whales coming into the inlet and all of that. On your left side, literally trails where people are pulled off on the side of the road. Trailheads begin. You see these naturally occurring waterfalls.
Right.
With the waterfalls just pouring down off the, trying to paint this picture of how green and lush the mountains are and how quickly they rise into the air. You're talking peaks that are going up 6,000-7,000 feet that just make this wall. And I forget the actual range, but like, this is where you're going to start going into these roads that go out to different glaciers that are still out in these mountains and everything.
Yeah. And then back on the right side across the water is just probably the most beautiful snow-covered mountain range you could possibly ever imagine. Yeah. And we had the opportunity to drive this section of road a few times, once early in the morning. The next time we did it later in the day, kind of in the evening time. So we got the beautiful golden hour in our photos, but it was so lovely. Like I said, I think drove it 3 times. This one little section.
I think so. I coming and going. Actually, it's probably more than that. But some of those stops worth mentioning. You kind of mentioned like there's stops all along on the right side for observations. The most popular one, the one that people know all about, is Beluga Point. This one has a well, like there's a parking lot. Not a well. This one has a well-maintained parking lot. That's what I'm going to say. It has a well-maintained parking lot, plenty of parking spaces, and it has a point of land that goes out. Now, you're not supposed to go out there, but I saw lots of people hopping the fence and kind of going out there. I guess do that at your own, whatever, home peril, whatever. But this is one of the points that has excellent views of the beluga whales whenever they do appear in the summer months. We were a little early in the season, so we didn't expect to see any. Of course, we didn't. But a lot of people were pulling off and just taking pictures because of how gorgeous it is. And during the peak summer months, it gets very popular. So
right.
Get there early, get there late. I don't know, but like you'll want to make a stop for Beluga Point. Yeah. And then they have a few more like Bird Point and Windy Corner, right? Bird Point is a little bit further up and actually on the left side Remember the kind of,
Yeah.
it almost turns into like a swamp area. I call it a swamp because I grew up in the South, but like it's like a marsh.
It's a marsh. It's protected wetlands.
Yeah, it's protected wetlands.
Yeah, it's like for what do they call it? Shore bird life, like for
there
birds
were cranes
and
swans.
Yes,
swans?
we did see swans.
We saw swans out there.
I had no idea Alaska had swans.
Yeah, I was like, that is a giant bird.
Yeah,
like
there were swans, there were regular ducks. We saw cranes, just all these birds out there. And they have this parking lot with the boardwalk that takes you pretty deep across the marsh, so that you can take pictures. But it's really right there off the side of the highway. So we just pulled over at one point and just stopped and looked at a few birds before heading on our way.
I like how you said regular ducks. I just caught that. Also,
not the fancy ducks, the regular ducks.
And also, one of the classic viewpoints.
I don't know duck names. What are the ones with the green head? Is that a mallard? See, I know a duck name. I just don't know if it's the right one.
There's also Windy Corner. Windy Corner is one of the classic viewpoints on the drive. It has huge mountains rising directly from the water. Right. Also. So it's like you get if you're a photographer, of course, you're going to know this area, or you're going to want to familiarize yourself with this area because you're going to get the reflections on the water and have that beautiful look. And we did see a ton of photographers out there taking these what I have no doubt in my mind are gorgeous photos. But during the right time of the year, with like in the summer months, on this one stretch of road, I kid you not, you can very likely see beluga whales, the Dall sheep that are the ones, on the sides of the mountain there that we saw a lot of as our journey progressed. Bald eagles, like you said, moose, occasionally black bears. And these are some of the things that make people stop. So you see little parking lots or like man-made parking lots. People just pull off on the side of the road because like you said, we were coming back and just randomly a moose and her calf were there, and people told us earlier, like days ago, there was a mama bear and her cubs and everything, and so traffic was backed up for miles because animals have the right of way.
They do. I mean, I'd heard this before we went there, and even when we were in downtown and we went into one of the shops, you overheard one of the workers saying that a bear had come into her neighborhood, I think the day before, and I was like, that is insane to me that these animals are just everywhere, and people just stop and let the animal go about their way. Nobody's upset about it. Nobody's like, I have to get to work. They really they accept it. This is part of living in Alaska. Yeah. And there were so many times that you and I were driving and we just pulled over because we'd see an animal or something. And we're like, we just need to pull over and watch. And
I think there was like a herd of reindeer at one point.
Yes.
We stopped. That was later on outside of Denali, but it was still one of those moments where there were about 3 or 4 carloads of people, including us, and everyone stopped because there was a herd of reindeer.
Caribou. Yes.
Reindeer.
See, I know those names.
No, see, magical. If they're magical, like they are in my mind, they're reindeer. Keep it right here on Scale Travel Show. We have regular ducks. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. My voice, it's almost gone.
It wants to be in Alaska.
Jeremy Locke here with my co-host, Amy.
Hello.
Your voice is nice and crisp. Mine's all breaking over here.
Well, I made you laugh, so.
Unscaled Travel Show, right? That's what it's all about. Broken voices, regular ducks. We got it all. You know, there
Mises. We got Mises, too.
Mises. There are a lot of things, though, like I think we learned as we went on this trip that I think sharing these things with people real quick is like the only like appropriate thing to do. Like, yeah, I know it's kind of like when people, when we do like Las Vegas episodes, we're sure to tell people, drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Please drink water. Alcohol is not water.
Right.
Like
beer contains water, but it is not water.
It's made with water, but it's not water, you know? And then we still see people passed out in bushes and stuff. We don't want you to have that experience in Vegas. We sure as heck don't want you to have that experience in Alaska. And I think we learned some things, you know, actually trial and error for a few things. I mean, you mentioned at one point, like the wildlife has the right of way.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to have to exercise a little patience when it comes to driving around, because moose aren't exactly caring that you're late for work or you're trying to get to a movie.
No. And I saw multiple times, and on different websites, different places we went, it would say Alaska, the only place where you can be late for work because of wildlife. And it's kind of really true, because they're everywhere. They are in the cities. They're in the neighborhoods. They are on the highway. So, and you don't want to endanger the wildlife. These animals are protected, and that's part of the beauty of being in the area. So keep an eye out, stay safe.
Another thing is that cell service isn't necessarily guaranteed.
Right.
We a while back, we invested in a Starlink just so we could hook things up and, you know, have access to Wi-Fi if things, you know, hopefully nothing happens or whatever, but like you want that access. It makes you feel a little bit more secure in a lot of things. But even then, with the Starlink, you have mountain areas where you can't get signal. Yeah. Through trees and the mountains and everything. It's even hard to do that once you have even something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the wilderness. When you're outside of the big cities, there's just not a lot of services.
Yeah. And like also, it goes without saying that weather can change pretty quickly, very dramatically, especially with mountain ranges can block weather. They can also create weather. And so, you know, in the sunshine, it could be nice and warm and toasty. Yeah. As soon as you hit some shade, boom, you're going to wish you had layers. So layer up. Yeah. And I know like we kind of sound like parents because we are, but like wear your jacket, wear a light jacket, a heavier jacket.
And make sure that your gas tank's full, because gas stations can be few and far between in certain parts of the state.
They are. You have to be strategic with it.
Yes.
So if, you know, if you're making this drive out to Seward and you see a sign that says last gas station for 85 miles.
Believe it.
Believe it. Don't think you can coast you in on fumes, right? Just trying to keep you safe so you're not moose food. Keep it right here on Scale Travel Show. Welcome back to the show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com. All of our past episodes, interviews. We got some really good interviews. Go check out. They're all kind of like evergreen, so you can check them out wherever. Yeah. Get inspiration to where you're going. Lots of interesting people on there. We're talking about our trip to Alaska. We have made our way at this point from Anchorage along the Seward Highway, which is gorgeous. I think, you know, all parts of it. I think it's what in total, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, maybe 3 hours.
Okay. So, you know, the first part of it, first hour and a half, my favorite. It takes you to a place where the inlet, where the Cook Inlet kind of ends, is what they call Portage Valley. Yeah. And this was one of our first like real adventure times because we decided, you know, we're going to go early morning on the Portage Glacier cruise,
which is what Trent and Lisa from Diamondback recommended that we do. So it was the first thing that we booked.
Yeah. Because he told me, and then I think 2 other people who had been to Alaska multiple times, they were like, hey, there's this cruise you got to go on. So when you have that many people that are independent of each other saying that, boom, booked it without hesitation. Right. All right, let me go see what the hype is about. And let me tell you right now, I don't have any skin in the game with this company. They're not sponsors of the show. The Portage Glacier cruise is worth every single penny.
Yeah.
And it's not expensive.
No.
Super affordable. It takes, round trip. We got picked up like 8 a.m.
Yeah, but you could drive there.
You could drive there and meet them.
The cruise itself, I think, was an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Super to like just do part of your day and move on. But it is so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The Portage Glacier itself is just, it's kind of tucked away and hiding behind a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're on the lake, which I believe is called Portage Lake.
I think so.
I think it's called Portage Lake itself. When you go out there and it just kind of appears for the first time once you round these hills and everything, it just, it's hard to explain how beautiful it is.
So we landed in the afternoon. This was the first official thing we did the next morning. And when we, as you said, we were driven there to the parking lot. The whole way there, the driver's giving us information, pointing out things, and he's telling us how this boat was built on this lake specifically to take people to see this glacier. Mm-hmm. It's the only boat on the lake. Its whole purpose is to take people from the dock around this little corner to showcase the glacier. And we get there, and you and I think we both had the same kind of moment where it was like so beautiful. This lake's gorgeous. We're surrounded by snow-covered mountains. Mm-hmm. Everybody, like the few people that were there, because it wasn't even crowded. We had, I think, 7 or 8 people on our boat total, and
which was amazing.
We got the whole thing to ourselves, and we were standing there waiting to get on the boat. And I think we both had this moment, like, we're really in Alaska.
Yeah, this was our first.
Here.
Even with the mooses
mm-hmm.
and all the fun that we had walking around downtown and everything, this was like your welcome to Alaska moment. Because the lake, again, you can't do it. It's such a disservice to do it. You're just trying to find the best words for it. But like the lake is turquoise. It's like how you see it in the movies and everything. The water's like bluish green.
Yeah.
And we're still early in the season, right? We go about mid-May when everything is starting to open up. So it's a little early for peak season and bears and all that stuff, like as we would find out later. But the water, like half the lake is still frozen.
Yes.
And this boat is designed to
break the ice. Yeah.
So we're like breaking the ice off, and the crew is like fishing, using these giant fish nets to fish some ice out and letting us hold like this lake water that's like so pure and, beautiful and everything.
This is the ice that when it breaks, they call it the candlestick ice because it breaks into like long skinny pieces.
Yes.
And so you may have seen this. You can actually go on our Instagram. We have photos. We have video of it and photos of us holding pieces of the glacier. But that's one of the cool things that they do is every time they go out while there's still ice, they take a little bit wider turn so that you can see them break the ice, and then they fish it out and they pass it around and let people hold it. And I didn't know that's what the girl was doing. I just wanted to walk to the back of the boat and see the ice as like what it looked like from the back of the boat. And she just happened to be walking down with me and grabbed the net to start fishing it out. And I was like, oh, can I film you? And she's like, sure. I didn't know you were behind me also filming, but it was a really cool moment to see that, to watch this girl fishing ice out of the water. And then she just is like, do you want to hold it? And of course I want to hold it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was an incredible moment.
Yeah. Look, Amy, if you ever go anywhere with Amy is an explorer. And I say that in a joking but not joking way. She's kind of got a natural nose for when stuff is happening or whatever. Because I missed most of this because I'm just like, I'm looking at the waterfalls. I'm looking at the mountain peaks or whatever.
You're enjoying the scenery. And I'm like, what's going on over there?
I turn around and I see a little tuft of red hair moving at the back of the boat. And again, like, during peak season, how many did they say?
I think they said the boat holds about 150 people.
150 people. And we had about 10.
Yeah.
10 people had paid to go on this trip. And I think there was like 10 people that worked on the boat.
Yeah, maybe.
So there was 20 of us.
Maybe
on this boat. So early in the season, you're going to get opportunities that other people don't get. And again, with the frozen lake too, that's a lot of stuff that's totally different when it's summertime.
Yeah.
And the water's all, already, the ice is melted and all that good stuff. But it was so amazing to just kind of see that you get up really close to it. And it's just kind of one of those moments where you're like, wow, this is real. This is where we are.
Yeah.
And the people, the staff on the boat, the captain, who was also from Texas. I was sitting there talking to him. He's one of those folks you mentioned. Some folks fly in for the year, or they fly in for about 6-7 months or whatever, and then they fly out. He's one of those people that flies in for part of the year. He actually, I think he lived in Vegas.
Yeah,
for a while.
Did. But when we went around the corner to where we could actually see the glacier, so this is our first glacier. I didn't know what to expect. You and I we actually went into a glacier when we were in Switzerland. It was on the top of a mountain. It was a cave. So I didn't know what to expect. That was my only frame of reference. And this is a completely different experience, which we would come to find out is very common for the almost 27,000 glaciers in Alaska. Wow. But we came around the water and it was just this like massive wall of ice in front of us. And it is truly a blue color. You see these things on TV and you're like, why is it blue? Yeah. It really has this blue tone to it because I guess of the minerals and stuff that's in the water. But it was so neat because they parked the boat. They're like, we don't want to get too close because if a chunk breaks off, it's going to cause a massive wave. Yeah. So we're a little bit removed from it. And it was just a really neat thing because we're just kind of parked there in the middle of this frozen lake that we've just broken through. Looking at this massive wall of ice, and it's like, this is Alaska. And you also get to hear the things too. Like you don't realize that, as we're going through the ice, you can hear the ice in the water is about a foot thick, they were saying, and you can hear it crack. Yeah. But once you get closer to the glacier, when that's cracking, it pops. Like it is. You're like, wow, you can hear that sound or whatever you think they're making up in movies or whatever, like, oh, they just inserted a sound there. Like, no, that's what it actually sounds like when there's breakage happening. That's why you don't get too close or whatever. But yeah, super gorgeous. The staff was incredibly nice. And I imagine when it gets a little bit, like a lot of things opened about June 1st and a little bit later, but they have a whole visitor center there at the lake, the Portage Glacier, like visitor center. That's also where you're going to find the tunnel to Whittier. Yes. You could see the tunnel from the lake. There's actually two parts to the tunnel. The first one go through no problem because you and I did it. It's not very long, but it is cool to film, if you have a fascination with tunnels. So you'll get the first part of the Whittier tunnel. If you do the second one, understand that the Whittier tunnel is timed. So you go over there, you won't be able to come back for a couple hours. Right. And no hate on Whittier. There's not a whole lot to do in Whittier after you're in the tunnel thing. So you're just driving through a tunnel because it's a one-way tunnel. Yes. And they do it on a timed thing. So like you're just going to enjoy Whittier for the afternoon, I guess. Right. But also in that area, so as we were pulling up to Portage Glacier, we saw signs that said Byron Glacier Trail. And so we asked a few people and they're like, oh yeah, it's a totally different glacier that you can hike to. And it's not even, so we did it. We were like, okay, well, we're right here. We might as well. Let's go see our second glacier. Yeah. Nice little parking lot. Pretty flat. Yeah. I wouldn't call it a hike. I would call it a nice walk. It was a nice walk. Okay. An ice walk? Nice walk. Yeah, we saw, families, some people had their pets. I don't know if pets are allowed, but they had pets that were running around, loved the water. Yeah. They were having a good time. We saw even a couple guys pass us in Vegas Golden Knights jersey. So you know what? We got to like, oh, cool, Vegas everywhere. But yeah, you walk out there and they have an observation point. It kind of ends and you can see where I didn't know. I was just like, oh, look, it's just snow built up. But like you read the signs later on and they're like, oh, this is like where avalanche, it's like avalanche snow that's piled up. Yeah. And you're like, oh. They call them snowfields. So the snowfield comes to the observation point, which to that point, it is a relatively easy, approximately 1 mile walk. Yeah. You can continue to go a little bit higher and get closer to the snow, like to the side of the snowfield. That's a little more strenuous, I would say, because you're kind of doing a scramble over some
you
loose
got to
rocks.
do your best mountain goat kind of over some rocks, which we saw a guy do it no problem.
Carrying a cup of coffee, wearing sandals, and he is scrambling over these rocks much easier than either of us.
Who was he competing with?
I don't know.
Bro, you win. Okay, you get your cup of coffee and your sandals, but he went up, for even more unobstructed views.
Yeah.
So if you want pictures or whatever of the glacier, but also there's a beautiful glacial spring running out there, and so we took some pictures and just kind of spent some time, and that was like the first part of our Alaskan journey, which was only the first few days we were there. So we want you to stick with us. Unscaled Travel Show, visit us unscaledtravelshow.com. We're going to continue on with our Alaskan adventures. We hope you will too. We hope it inspires you to get out and go see Alaska, right? The last frontier here in the U.S. So until next time, Jeremy here with my travel explorer Amy.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next time.